Ooh, fun. Okay. Yeah, I mean, totally. Welcome Zenkaikon 2022. I'm down. Hi to everybody that showed up, and a special hi to everybody that bought specialty tickets online. We're in your YouTube thought theory box. Ooh, we're taking over the space where your porn normally lives. Too autobiographical? Okay.
I kind of hope that we're like next to the board.
Adjacent?
Yeah.
They're just kind of looking at it on their phones, awkward.
So like, they have something to look at while they're listening to us, and like
we are the weirdest soundtrack to have behind
So like, when I see a naked lady, they think of you.
That's the last thing I want them to think.
Or a naked dude.
That's the second thing I want them to think.
When they see a naked dude, they'll think of me, and I'll be really happy.
Welcome to planning a trip to Japan. And a special hi and thank you. We do have a couple of seats up closer to the front. If you have an empty seat next to you and you are comfortable sharing this space, go ahead and raise a hands. We're very grateful that everybody came out. Want to make sure that people grab a seat and feel comfortable here. Also want to say a great big thank you to everybody who just needed a seat in between the actual events that you want to go to here at Zenkaikon. But let's introduce ourselves. My name is Carl Uncle Yo Custer for about a decade, starting actually at Zenkaikon. I was a geek-specific stand-up comedian, playwright, podcaster, puppeteer, all other P words that did not result in a paycheck. And I have been to Japan. My pronouns are he, him, his.
Woo!
I was surprised too, yeah. Rolling.
So, my name's Kat. My pronouns are he, him, they, them. I planned 2 trips to Japan for the both of us. From scratch, so I'm gonna give you a perspective on how to plan a trip. Just from scratch to the end. And so I think we can. Also how to plan a trip with a friend in travel.
Yes.
So.
I think that's very important too, because it's one thing to just show a bunch of videos. Oh, this is so cool, you should see this. Oh, this is even cooler, you should see this. Oh, remember the thing. But also, Kat comes at this from a project manager perspective, and there are ways of just spending a little bit of time ahead of time planning to save you a lot of mental stress the travel day of, a lot of money beforehand, and also just make the most out of your vacation. So we did the show of hands. It looks like a lot of people are interested in traveling to Japan, but have not yet. That is fantastic.
We didn't ask them if they're interested in going to Japan. We only asked them if they wanted to go to Japan. Maybe they don't want to go to Japan and just here to see you.
That is their fault. That is a poor choice. That's as poor a choice as me breathing in my breath the very first months of 2020.
I'm just panic and panic.
I don't tell people that. That's Patreon only. And Zenkaikon VIP passes, and those of you who purchased the premium, thank you so much. Get ready for your ad. And we're back. Thank you so much for our Twitch commercial break. So before even traveling in general, so a couple of updates that I have recently. This is as of mid-March of 2022, which, despite how things might feel, we actually are in right now. This is not March 2020 again, TOO. It's been 2 years since. I always recommend updates checking out at the official website for the Japanese embassy, which I realize now is usembassy.gov/COVID-. So essentially, travel for tourism's sake across and in Japan kind of zilch right now. It's pretty much not permitted, and there is no scheduled open release date as of yet.
Technically you can go to Japan, but this is under very certain circumstances. You have your what's it called? What is it called when you come over and you say, I'm being nice and friendly to you on a government level?
Me visiting your parents.
No,
business visa, student visa.
Diplomacy. Thank you. Yes, diplomacy. So if you're a diplomat or something, or something to that effect.
So you're telling me to roll a diplomacy check? It's an 11 on the die. I probably have a -2 modifier. I apologize.
Absolutely garbage useless. Yes.
Really? Yeah. And my characters. Some of the good news, at least, though, 80% of the Japanese population, as of the start of 2022, has received at least one vaccine shot. They are now opening up internationally for 5,000 to 7,000 students daily. However, even when you arrive, there's still a required 3-day isolation. So get to the airport, get on a bus, get to your city and hotel, and then hang there for 3 days to prevent exposure. Yes, but that's okay. At the moment, students are being admitted as early as May of this year. Vacations are still very much up in the air, even internally within Japan. There are, as of late March, still 12 regions of the city of Tokyo that are monitored as quasi-emergency, just because they're very commuter heavy. Just as a heads up, so the Prime Minister was recently quoted as saying to recommend that restaurants close early and maybe limit the sale of late night alcohol, prevent people from making bad choices. And we're like, we're Zenkaikon, that's what we're all about. Let's see, tourism in Kyoto is pretty much still banned, and the good news is the Omicron spike, while it didn't go through a lot of the population, it's fading really quickly.
So, long story short, we're just listing out all these COVID restrictions, but we're doing this panel from the point of view of, we're just assuming that COVID is it's safe to go traveling again, and Japan is more open to accept visitors. So.
Right, so effectively, you guys can expect to visit Japan by this coming summer, right? By the fall of 2022. By the time the 6th John Wick movie's in theaters, we'll be coming out for it.
The dog shoots a gun.
Now the dog attacks using John. So starting off, the biggest question is, why are you leaving the house? What do you want to get out of visiting somewhere else? Whether it's you want to go out to spend some time relaxing, there is a culture for that. Are you there for theaters and museums and live shows? There will eventually be a culture for that yet again. Is this a food tour? Yes, sir. Are you going for weed crap? I would hope so. This is Zenkaikon.
So, this will guide you on your planning and make sure that you research, get yourself organized with research. I didn't learn until we got to Japan that Carl does not like buying stuff. So I had planned for 3 days in Akihabara, and Carl was done within the hour.
It's a lot of window shopping and a lot of, what are they called? White people. I see enough of those at home. In the mirror.
Yeah, that was a big learning on my part. I was like, well, he really doesn't like shopping.
Which again was my fault for not directly communicating. I want X, Y, and Z without saying I'd like to avoid the following.
So yeah, usually when we plan a trip, we start, even with a friend, we just figure out what do you want to do, food, culture. We just started looking earlier.
Oh yeah, like Takarazuka in the bottom left of the panel, which is next to the Osaka Tezuka Museum in his hometown of Takarazuka, so it's a 2-for-1. And if you can get those souffle pancakes in the mall next door, 3 for 1. 3 for 1. You have to finish the fluffy pancakes before going into the theater. They don't let you bring in outside pancakes. They supply their own.
So we, just make a list of things. If you don't, this doesn't have to be a complete list, but it's a general list of what you want to do. Because then, as you do more research, you'll always find something that you want to do. And then from there, you can go, from there.
Oh yeah. Boop. I did it. Boop.
So from there, you could actually organize things and arrange things into different slots along the day. So, so you could arrange things into slots along the days. I do this quite loosely. So I have everything divided along morning, afternoon, and evening. So in the morning, on Sunday of the trip, which is what the heck?
I got you.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to use PowerPoint. I've never used PowerPoint before.
Now I'm in control.
And this is a shared Google document, so you can arrange for friends if you want to do where. So
I mean, thank goodness for it being a shared Google Doc, because that also meant, like, our friend in tow, Alex, who we traveled with a couple of years ago, this meant that he could actively on his phone at work start switching up stuff as well. And there's definitely the very important thing that we'll say in just a little bit is, like, plan for a big block of time at some point in a big vacation just to rest. Minute by minute is fine if you know you have the energy for it. If you're traveling with someone that does not have the energy for that, having an afternoon or an evening of, look, we'll wander, we'll find a restaurant, we'll be like, we'll go there. That's stellar. Let's take a longer, sleep in on Sunday. If you want to schedule it, please do.
We are very lazy.
Yes.
Oh my god. We just like eating, sleeping.
Yes.
And looking at things.
Yes.
But mostly eating, sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is why we spent 24 hours on a plane to take us to a location where we could just sleep and eat.
Yes.
The plane ride, like, practiced us. Yeah.
I mean, like, it's sleeping and eating in a cool place.
Yes, that's true. That's all kind of vacations are.
Because we're cool people.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Not on diplomacy roles, but on other things, yes.
And one thing is, like, I haven't gotten to the budget about this yet. Usually I start, like, once you have, like, a kind of, like, you know, a set list of things you want to do, then you can actually start calculating the budget, you know, just like calculating all the stuff that you have in front of you, and then cut back where you, cut back your exchange. So this is, like, a great place to, like, say, like, maybe we can't afford this thing, or maybe this thing is not fitting in our schedule that well, so let's just put something else in there that's a little more cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I will say, especially when you are traveling, and whatever risk this is, cash is king when you are a tourist. Especially because you're not always, can't always be sure that your bank, your bank card, your credit card is going to work as many times as possible. Make sure that you contact whatever credit card you're going to use, that company ahead of time, like the week before. If you see charges on my credit card, MasterCard or Visa, from the other side of the planet, that's me, I'm there, don't shut down my card. Which is the biggest question of, like, even just the biggest questions, and whittle it down from there. When do you want to go? Obviously, spring and fall are going to be prime for central Japan. Remember, like, if we're talking north to south, this is a big country. There's a whole island, Hokkaido, that is cold for how many months out of the year? Right, almost all. And then they have southern islands that are almost close to the tropics. So staying midway, if you're going for spring, that's cherry blossom time. That's sakura time. That's everything that Clam ever illustrated time of the year.
What do you mean by midway?
Midway? I mean, like, midway through the year, like spring.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry about that. And then the fall is a good time too, because a lot of cities do very local, concentrated, and seasonal cuisine. It's also very temperate. It's very fun to be out there.
It's also Momiji season, which is fall.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of red leaves and things. So, I mean, Japan has a lot of different seasons. I can't name them all, but like Sakura season is the most popular one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like fall Momiji season, which is usually when we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's also called like the low time, or the less popular time we go to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, and also, like I said, Japan's very seasonal. Depending what time of the year, some things are going to be available, and you know, you can go see that special thing.
I will also say one of the benefits of traveling as a tourist is they have this thing that we don't have in the States called a budget for infrastructure and a desire to make life easier for the people that live there. It's a tourist-heavy culture to begin with, which is lovely. We'll bring up a slide in a little bit about like where you can get to in the island just from any central city, from either a train, eventually getting you out to a bus, a boat if you're trying to get to an island populated only by the elderly and cats. That's on you. I felt like if we didn't leave that island by sunset, they would take our place and switch our souls. Like everyone else there was just like tricked by the cats, who then like switched bodies and then left. Now it's Mittens' time to shine. But it's big too, is like when you get there, you want to know that you have access to Wi-Fi, which you will find in a vast majority of common places in the city, a lot of big restaurants, malls, nearby schools. But then you get out of the city into the countryside, And if you need updates, you can save $50 for a portable pocket Wi-Fi, which saved us for our first trip.
Well, it saved us for the city too. So like you said, they have a lot of good infrastructure. We depended heavily on the Google Maps to like guide us through Tokyo. We did the reason why we never got lost was because we had always access to Wi-Fi,
And you also never put me in charge.
Yes, and also Google Maps will tell you which platform to go to, and to go to the train station. So I think, and when you're in the city, it's a little bit easier to navigate around, but in the countryside, it's harder.
Yep, it's just radish spirits and old people.
Well,
or old radish spirits.
You know how there's a lot of stories about how trains are on time in Japan? That is usually really only local to cities. You can expect Tokyo to be on time.
Yeah.
Tokyo to be on time. But if you're out in the country, in Aoyama, which is where we went to go see the Cat Island.
Escape from Cat Island.
The buses that we decided to do everything in public transportation. The buses did not come in time that they were listed on the brochure.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a scary time.
It was, yeah. It didn't come, so we're in the middle of the country, we're in the countryside trying to figure out how to get home. And a white guy in a truck came by and said, "Hey, you want to ride?" And
we perked up I know that language. Good morning, my name's Captain G. I'm a fisherman. I'm Uncle Yo, this is a meadow, and we're getting in your car to probably be murdered. He was fantastic, though. He'd lived there for a couple of years and just saw, the sad face.
He was a photographer, took pictures of wildlife, and it's just really serendipitous. Yeah.
Serendipitous?
Serendipitous, yes.
Did we do it? Did we do it?
Yeah.
We got it! Serendipity! I want you guys to have internet as long as you are there. Now, T-Mobile, as you just pointed out with some research a couple of weeks ago, there is an international plan.
Yes, so there's 3 different kinds of ways of getting Wi-Fi.
Yes.
First type is the pocket Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that little guy on the left.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different services that does it. I just go on the internet, look up pocket Wi-Fi Japan, and then just market it out. Next up is T-Mobile. If you have a T-Mobile plan, they have an option to use international text and Wi-Fi internet options, and then SIM card.
So on your cell phone, there is that tiny little dot that looks like only a paperclip unfolded can take that out. Living inside is that little yellow card on the right. That is your SIM card. That is connected to your phone's plan. You can purchase for one of the larger Japanese systems, which are Docomo, au, and SoftBank. Switch that out, and now your phone is hooked up to that service, which if you don't want to rely on a pocket Wi-Fi or just 2G limited on T-Mobile, that's the way to go.
Yeah. I never really tried phone number on it, though. So I can't tell you more about it. The benefits, all of them have their pros and cons. The Wi-Fi, the pocket Wi-Fi, you can actually, if you have more than one person, if you're going with another person or 3 people, you can all share that one Wi-Fi hotspot. T-Mobile and SIM cards are just one person only kind of deal. The pocket Wi-Fi requires a lot of battery, so you can carry a lot of stuff with you.
Yeah, because it's not just the Wi-Fi, it's also the portable charger, which if you know you're going to be shopping, do you really want the extra weight? Which is another big reason about where do you set up your hotel. Ideally, you want to find the things that you're going to do. You've purchased the tickets. A lot of things in Japan, even restaurants or butler cafes, require you to purchase the pass ahead of time. They're very strict and scheduled with this, and you can't do the normal oh, I don't know how this works, can I just sit in at the empty table? They're like, you sound like Kermit, you may leave. Purchase stuff as a very on-time culture, and the more that you adhere to that, the better of the time that you are going to have. But then, when you get there, how do you get around? As we said before, within the cities, there are subways and elevated trains to get you all around. Between cities, you have the option of either renting a car, or it's maybe a little more expensive, but the experience of riding a bullet train, a Shinkansen, those are fun, dude. You can bring in bentos that you pick up from the train station. You can bring in your own food. They will have a restroom. They have a storage unit for your luggage. They are meant to be as easy and just easy to handle as possible to get you from point A to point B, as well as your stuff. One more time. This is true. For all the minors out there, you can bring beer onto the Shinkansen. I wasn't expecting that. I was about to talk about the whiskey at the vending machines. But, so, traveling within the city, you want to grab a Suica card.
Yep.
And what you're going to pay depends on how far you are going and traveling in the city. And ideally, if you know you're going to spend a lot of time in one city, grab a hotel room that's at the epicenter of all the things you want to do. Why would you bother renting a space and just going back and forth on the same train farther and longer when you can just be at the center and start familiarizing yourself with the neighborhood? Because as you're walking past stuff multiple times, you'll find a new ramen shop that can be your best friend.
Yeah.
You'll find an even quicker side street to go by. Going throughout the bigger cities, this is JR Pass and, yeah.
So, to give you more details about JR Pass,
Please.
it's only worth it if you're planning to go to multiple cities. So if you're planning to go to like Tokyo and Kyoto, then get the JR Pass. But if you're not, and you're just going to stay solely in Tokyo, then I would just go stick with Suica card, and just get everything, because then you put your money on a Suica card, and you can get your money back when you leave Japan. So,
even though the JR is expensive and gets you through the different cities, it doesn't cover necessarily every local subway, which again, you're going to know before you get there because you have the internet and you're going to look up. I don't want you to have to try to schedule a day at the Ghibli Museum and then totally forget you don't have the right card to get on the special bus to get you to the Ghibli Museum. Let me see. Also, yeah, we'll talk later about why we avoid deer when we have a JR Pass in our back pocket. But yeah, getting within the cities takes a little bit to acclimate. Again, check out Google Maps. They will get you through it as painlessly as possible. It's also because of the tourist culture, just go to the info desk. They will see you coming from a mile away. Their job is to help and direct you. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask that gets you lost on the other side of a mountain after sunset, which, as you know, then they come out. You guys have seen them too? Okay. Let me jump ahead. But then there's obviously what I want you guys to go to Japan for. Where to go for the weeb stuff. There are multiple Pokemon cafes. There are multiple Pokemon cafes in Tokyo. Osaka, Kyoto has a Pokemon station as well.
No, you need stores.
Stores, thank you.
There's only one Pokemon cafe.
Okay, yes. That's the one you took me to.
Yes, that's the one we took you to, and
We almost met Pikachu.
no, we did. We totally did. We touched his hand. Yes, we got it. So,
I really like the Pokemon Cafe. It's one of their bigger stations. There are, in addition to arcade games, the autumnal leaves up there. It's a life-size little Eevee replica that's one of the many in the Pokemon Cafe that overlooks Tokyo. And a lot of the food, like we'll get into the next slide, is modeled to look like a Pokemon as well. This is going for your heart and your wallet. And that's okay. They have special seasonal releases. When we went, there was a Team Trick versus Team Treat team of like Epion and Sylveon, all with special custom outfits. You could get the plushies for, you could take away the placemat. We took 6. There are coasters. We took many from multiple tables. You're apparently not supposed to do that. But I do what I want.
Yeah.
So I recommend, so one of the places is Ikebukuro, which is, these are like neighborhoods within Tokyo. So New York City has the 5 boroughs, the Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, where Spider-Man lives, and Staten Island. I thought that was funny. Yeah. Tokyo itself has about 12. Ikebukuro is going to have one of the Pokemon centers, a ton of gachapon. Like what they have, there are walls of gachapon. So if you have a specific anime that you're interested in, you're going to find the vending machine for that. And that's a little fun guessing game of what you're going for. We'll get to the Ghibli Museum in a second. Oh yeah, the Mitaka, right down there. There's a fun bus.
Before you move on to Ikebukuro.
Yeah.
Ikebukuro.
Ikebukuro.
Obviously they have Otome Way, which is where you get, has like, a whole line of a street lined with stores. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, it's lined with stores, geared towards, women, so like, a lot of like, the elf stuff, sojo stuff, and like even like the Butler Cafe is there.
Yes.
The Butler Cafe is like it's actually kind of a fun experience of just like sitting there, being waited on by Japanese men, waiter uniforms.
Everything is covered in some kind of cream.
Yes.
Or cinnamon topping.
Yeah, the food was actually really good.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed it.
yeah. Ikebukuro is like really cool, and like there's also Sunshine City, which is a mall.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Pokemon, like that's where one of the Pokemon centers it lives. Also, the Shonen Jump, like kind of like theme park.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget what's it called.
You and me both. We saw a lot.
Yeah.
Persona series did not lie to you. Shibuya is a very hot downtown area. There's a ton of stuff there. There's pachinko, there's arcades, there are movie theaters, there are swanky restaurants. There's a ton of fun things. We kept passing, not in Pokemon stores, but these huge, like the Grab-a-Claw game that were all full of massive Gengars.
Crane games, yeah.
Yes. And Akihabara, of course, the gold standard of weeb stuff. Secondhand stores. Here's my big warning. You're going to find a lot of obscure stuff that hasn't made it over to the States. You're going to find a lot of idle states. You're going to find a lot of not the super popular Shonen Jump stuff. If you are, it's going to be really expensive. You remember the 2 plushies that we found? So there was, when My Hero Academia had its first year, there was a Bakugo one for something like 3,500 yen, and then there was a Deku for like 400 yen. One of these things is not like the others. One of these is Bakugo's bottom. So, Akihabara is going to have a lot of very fun, just weeb nerd stuff cafe, and it's all located within one town. So, I recommend like 1 or 2 days just to get your bearings and then figure out where you want to go. That like switches out the staff in costumes and like specialty menus.
That was the Ikebukuro too.
Okay, excellent.
At the anime store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like ahead of time we we could actually just do a search for like anime cafes, and then they can show you like which theme cafe they had over the next few months, and you just like schedule, and then you just go there. When we were going, we went to Haikyuu was at like Haikyuu was the big one at that time, so we just went and like you go up there and you kind of just go to they kind of just take you to a room that kind of looks like this room. It's like a lot of walls, and then they put posters of like
it's very modular.
Yeah. And they give you placemats and everything, and the food is very cute and very like theme based. So like,
yeah. Oh, let me just show the yeah. Y'all see the burger on the top right? Yeah, your favorite Pokemon? Little red cabbage, little black charcoal grill. Almost all of the cute weeb restaurants are going to have something themed like this, or like you'll see in the Eevee mug, which we still have. They'll do the little cinnamon cutouts. They do this in the Gundam Cafe as well, with your favorite character on top of your latte or your cappuccino. They're trying to give you whatever kind of nerdy experience that they can. And for the most part, it's really worth it.
Yeah.
Just buy into how cute the experience is, and you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, in this case, like, you know, you see Gaslit?
Gaslit.
Yeah, so Gaslit's a good hamburger.
Oh, I was almost about to divorce you. Yeah, that's Gaslit.
Yeah, Gaslit is a very good hamburger. The fries were undercooked in this picture, and the soup was like...
Yeah, that's a corn soup. That's not like a dipping for the fries. I was surprised too.
Of course it was good.
Because when I sit down for a burger, nothing is more refreshing or reminiscent of Mama's kitchen than corn soup.
Corn soup is actually good. It's an Asian thing.
I just don't expect it next to a veggie burger shaped like a ghost. I also finally plays a video. This is fun because the Pokemon fight theme starts coming in. This is when the elevator opens up. So this was fun. We had like a team of 30 kids, clearly a classroom, take the elevator up, and then we were about to. They looked at us from across the hall. It was like at the Doctor Who experience. Like the kids looked at the people in their 30s, and we looked back, and we both had the same expression of like, this isn't for you, why are you here? This is our day. The stank eye we got from those British kids at the Doctor Who museum. Because we're all waiting there with like 20 through 40-year-olds, and like all the kids run in because like it was the 11th Doctor at the time. We look at each other. This isn't for you.
Yeah, we see that a lot everywhere we go.
Yeah, there's so much fun stuff. One of the other big things that you will find a lot easier too in Japan, public restrooms are going to be some of the cleanest you have ever seen, almost suspiciously so. There was one point where I left you at that breakfast cafe in the mall just to like check out the public restrooms.
Oh, really?
Because they will have, some of them will have like waterfall noises playing in the background just to cover up noises. Some of them will have music. And a lot of them just have more buttons than like a Nintendo 64 controller, which I found in one stall. We also discovered a lot of them will have a heated bidet. This is an amazing experience. Now, most of you would think if you saw a button that activated a feature, wouldn't common sense tell you press the button again to stop that feature? That is not the case. There's an off button somewhere else. Where is it? You don't know because water's going up and you don't want to stand up because you don't want to look like you peed yourself. Then it starts to recline, then it starts to play music, then there are like these Sailor Moon gachapons dropping out the bottom of it, and at one point you're like, I need to leave because I'm getting pruny and I need to call for help. Now, I know how to call out for help in Japanese because I grew up watching hentai. That yelling, help, someone come and help me, I'm in danger, would result in nothing because that has never happened in the hentai that I watched. That has never been the end scene. No one has been... Anyway.
So yeah, you live a very rich life.
I take the worst of it and make it a curious study.
Yes.
It's called Jeff Goldbluming. Oh. And waking up every day as if you have amnesia.
So... This is another benefit of Wi-Fi, you know, you can always text somebody into the bathroom.
Or there's the Gundam Cafe bathroom.
The Gundam Cafe.
We sit down with our coffees. This one goes to use the bathroom.
Wait, before we go in there, like, I'm very sorry we didn't get pictures of the Gundam bathroom, but yes, go ahead.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
You come back to me at the table and you say, I think you were a little further away.
You have to go to the bathroom.
I was like, how did you know? So, you go into the Gundam bathroom. The toilet is decked out to look like a commander chair. You're like, where are the other 4 Power Rangers? I'm taking the cafe for a spin. But then there's a big button. Just a giant button.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You press the button.
The lights go out.
The lights go out. Oh wait, I don't know why I'm covering my hands when I'm wearing a mask. Backup mode activate. 2 giant glaring yellow Gundam eyes appear in the darkness on the wall, staring down at you. Call for help now, white boy! The lights begin to light up. There are lit panels in the wall of the bathroom. It's an exhibit in itself.
It's a very threatening aura.
Very threatening bathroom.
So, like, yeah. I'm so surprised you didn't take pictures of it. I think it's just like, I think I felt really weird taking pictures of a bathroom.
You always get mad when I send photos from the bathroom.
That's a lie. I always want pictures of you in the bathroom.
You're a weird person. One other thing I'll let you know about the Pokemon cafes, the teenage cashiers, they do not respond well to bribery or threats. You have to play a mini game and sometimes get like the seasonal stuff you want.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like
they
the
always
mini
have something
game.
going on. I wanted this fucking... Okay. I don't play Pokemon, but I really, really love the characters, and I really love BBQ. They had a BBQ cape, and I was like trying, for the life of me, trying to figure out how to buy this cape. And they kept having it in posters all over the place, and like you had to like buy a ticket, a lottery ticket, and if the lottery ticket said you could buy this thing, you got it. I tried like 5 times.
There's a lot of redundancy of like, purchase the ticket, stamp the ticket, take the new second ticket over to the first thing. Son, I know it's right under the cash register right now. If I shove you back and reach under my arm, I promise I will grab it and walk away with it. Then you have to roll the... I don't want to play this game!
The important part is that they have complicated systems of buying things, but the customer service is really good. So if you kind of point and say like, I would like that, they'll kind of guide you over, and like they were able to guide us over and like show us what we're supposed to do. So yeah, I guess like my point is like don't be intimidated by like if you ever see something that you want and you want to give money for.
Good advice. Don't be intimidated by the Japanese teenagers. They're more afraid of you than you are of them.
Except for that one teenager.
Yeah, that kid didn't care.
He was really mad. I don't know why what made him mad. He scratched our hands.
Oh yeah, that kid.
Yeah. He gave him change and he just clawed his hands into mine.
He had a big day.
Yes.
Now saying visit Tokyo, no duh, yes or, you could spend your whole life going through fun attractions in Tokyo and not see everything. And we had 4 days on our first trip and then like 3 days on our second trip. We did not see nearly enough. I hope that you go and see more. Some of the big highlights was we found a hotel that had an onsen hot tub on the top couple of floors. I got to sit in a tub through slated wooden panels and just oversee all the Tokyo rooftops where all these little teenage magical girls were jumping, leaping from one place to another. Why are they all so good at jumping? Little grasshoppers, bing, 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 love, love, love. It's stunning. When you look out and the horizon is still more glowing, blinking city. It's out of this world. I put up the ad on the top right just because I saw it on the train. I was like, that's creepy. Like, that woman is scared of that robot. She does not know if she's leaving the next day. The robot knows, the robot's not telling. There are a ton of wonderful shrines you can visit. There is the massive sprawling on the hill, the white imperial castle, and all of the beautiful gardens around that. And that's a free park. I spent 3 hours there and didn't see the entirety of it. I just sat near a maple where leaves floated down around me, and I thought, I wish my high school rival were here so I could slash him. But truth be told, I feel that every continent that I go to.
Right,
Slash up. There are 14 boroughs to visit you can get to through bus, through train, through subway. Take your time looking it through. And take your time with the websites. If it's complicated, try to find an American-based travel site that's either willing to translate, or just, Google Translate as best you can. And then on the bottom right, do you remember where that was from? The best little ramen shop that could? The bottom right here with the vending machine?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Touch the physical plastic device like you're something old school Voltron, or like working the original Macross. And then the little ticket prints out, you can just hand off your own little ticket. I don't know why, but it was so tiny and cute, I was excited.
Is it the Taiwanese style?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so sometimes this one specifically, they had someone standing out front, and they saw us, and we're obviously tourists because...
Hi! What do you have that's covered in cheese? Then there's the fun cafes, the animal cafes. Snake Cafe, Hedgehog Cafe, obviously Cat Cafe, and the one you took me to.
Owl Cafe, because you were really excited about the Owl Cafe.
Now, when they say cafe, they mean a small room with about 4 dozen little owls and no exits. You can purchase a beverage and hold a great horned owl.
Oh, wow.
Or a little baby owl. But when they turn on the lights and you're just taking your shoes off, there's about 6 owls just sitting on the register on the computer.
We did take our shoes off, actually. We dipped our shoes in bleach.
Oh, okay.
And then they put the bags over our feet.
So they flip on the lights and there's 6 dozen eyes like, I eat you face? This was fun. We learned from the kid on duty that night. So the owner, who was probably like 18 years old, all of the mini owls were named after Attack on Titan characters, and apparently Annie was put in timeout because Annie bit Armin and then attacked Aaron. It's like, that's canon! These owls are great! Snowy owl, there was a barn owl.
They are really fun to like hold on to, but these owls are definitely like. I mean, these owls are definitely like, you know, they only lick their owners or they sell the shopkeepers because like if you try to like touch your head, they'll bite you. Right. So, but then, like, you know, and then like, you know, I turn around and I see like the shop owner going like, just like petting their owls like a dog. And
So
like,
jealous.
Yeah.
Love me, Mr. Hootie.
It was still really cool though, because I was just like, I've never seen so many owls and held an owl in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's an understatement, but Tokyo, when you go and you just see these clean streets, and you see people getting into the subway without, like, Muay Thaiing their way in without elbows, you get inside everywhere and it just seems quiet and respectful and freakishly clean. It does change you inside, because even though it's a huge bustling city, there is a calmness and a beautiful safety of that. Which then brings me to my all-time favorite city I've ever visited, Kyoto. Kyoto, the anagram lover's Tokyo. Shrines, mountains, old school villages and cities. There's the, help me, what's the district? The Higashiyama, okay. You are going down Main Street in Kyoto. I have mochi for sale. I have little trinkets for sale. I have photos for sale. You turn one street. There are no electric streetlights anymore. Every building is now just wooden paneled. People are in classical gear. You step through. Ooh, I'm in a Miyazaki film now. I'm Spirited Away all along. Modern city, old school Kyoto. They've rebuilt it a bunch of times to get it as authentic and cluttered and just beautiful as possible. But Kyoto, you'll pass by this massive train station, all of these modern stores, and then you'll just pass through a huge, like, orange-red shrine, Buddhist or Shinto temple, and then you'll pass, like, the Gap, and you'll pass the Starbucks, and then an even bigger temple. It's an amazing place for tours. It's an amazing place where a lot of artists will gather. We ended up discovering that, like, that weird pop-up farmer's market microbrew thing that happened, where they gave me, like, a scoop of matcha and then poured a Heineken into the glass and then handed it to me. And I said, that's a really big disrespect to the green tea. That was interesting, though.
Yeah.
Kyoto is so fascinating. You will see those clouds moving through the city and down the hills, and you get to go. You can go up through the mountains with all of these different. That writing that you see in the top middle, that's only when you look behind you. Those are sponsored by companies or celebrities or wealthy people. Those are all spirit gateways. That's to go through to, like, thank the ancestors or the spirits. And a lot of the times, if you get to those big tourist traps and you don't have a plan, there's someone who will, like, for 10 or 30 bucks an hour, just give you a private personal tour because they are tour guides. It's so magnificent. We did our best to, like, always stay in and near Kyoto, especially, like, the little, the ryokan that you got instead of the hotel.
Yes.
We got the yukata robes. We have that little sliding door to our little garden that just fit us, versus, like, the hotel room with the onsen that could fit us or our luggage, but not both. Kyoto's incredible too.
Yeah.
Like I stepped off and said, I'm home. But then there's Party Central. Little further south is Osaka. Oh yeah. This is Party Central. This is where you go for street food. This is where you go for people standing outside making as big a deal as possible in outfits. Every store has an animatronic something moving. It is a dragon, it is a crab, it is a dude, it's a little dude, it's a bigger dude eating a little dude, it's a big dude eating a little dude, and then the little dude becomes an even bigger dude. I'm still stuck on Attack on Titan, I'm sorry. But the animatronics and just the spectacle of that great downtown area of Osaka is a lot of fun. Not only that, there are neighborhoods for like cheaper weed stuff or older weed stuff that didn't necessarily make it over the Pacific. And we're already at 417. This is nuts, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Osaka is definitely another like big weed city. I mean, it's the search term for this is Den Town. It's what they call their like anime district. And they even have like little brochures they hand out to you to say, this is the places to go in Den Town. So lots of stores, like lots of keychain stores where like you can sell your own keychains and then buy keychains for cheap. Secondhand shops, private game, like little private boxes that you buy. Sell your stuff through.
Yes, okay. There's also, Osaka was the place with the maids that were standing outside, right? Yeah, you and Alex had gone upstairs for like the 4th time. I didn't, so then there was just one little teenage maid standing handing out flyers. So I turned around and then there was another.
That's on Tokyo too.
Yeah, and then they kept multiplying. Osaka also has Universal Studios Japan, which still has the Jaws ride, and the 4D Neon Genesis Evangelion roller coaster. You put on the headset, you go up, you go down. It's an actual secret mission that you can read as canon. It's a fun discovery, and it also freezes in the last 30 seconds almost always. So you're going down. Hello? We're still in the tube. We're still facing downward. My lunch is coming back. Is anything else moving? Are the angels attacking?
So eventually that ride did come back on, but my view got skewed. So everything was facing downward for some reason, so I did like face this way.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to face this way to see anything, and we finished the ride. But basically, yes, you are traveling through a fight.
Yeah, it's great. An angel like almost steps on the thing, and then there's a shake, and then like 02 leaps out and like football tackles it. Go, go, go! You're watching a 3D roller coaster while inside of an indoor one.
Yes.
The other big thing we went during.
Wait, before that, after the ride, you can eat popcorn out of the Ava head.
You can. We have that popcorn Ava head, and the eyes light up. And there's the Ava churro, which is purple and green, and it's a churro. Because nothing says Neon Genesis Evangelion like Mexican street food. It was so much fun. It was also Halloween weekend, so we went through all of the jump scare houses. That was magnificent. Not all the small Japanese schoolgirls are familiar with how jump scare haunted houses go. You get to play. It was a ton of fun. It was definitely worth like the almost day and a half trip. But yeah, Osaka is a little cheaper city. It's about 3 or 4 hours via bullet train. Once you land in Tokyo, it's absolutely worth it. Bunch of universities, and Osaka Castle is so tall, you can see Kyoto from there. There's a ton of very cool just history and little local shops. I loved it. The other fun city that we can go through is one of the old capital cities, Nara. When the train pulls into Nara, there's one reason to go to Nara. It's the deer. They tell you on the website, come to Nara to visit the deer. And you wonder, where will we find these deer and then the train pulls into the station. 26 different languages. Welcome to Nara, please visit the deer. There is a giant path right out of the train station that will take you about a nice half-hour walk through a really lovely, like, mountainous, forested city. I've never been to cities where, like, the buildings were built in respect to, as opposed to conquer the space around. It's like when you go to Boulder, Colorado, or Denver, for every tree there's a building, or for every, like, they're all playing hide and seek with each other. Then you get to the huge like state park equivalent, and you have these 700-year-old massive wooden structures that are Shinto shrines, Buddhist shrines. They're these giant wooden Buddha replicas, and across all the cobblestones and throughout the woods, there are these little deer. Now, some of you are from the great state of Pennsylvania. Many of you have the same relationship I do with deer, which is pick a finger. Yeah, these are little compact deer. You buy the wheat cracker. They are trained to bow to you. So if you bow, oh, don't do that! Don't fall for it! You bow, they bow, you give them a cracker. And then a little fawn comes up. It's learning to bow. You bow. And then a big buck body slams it away to try and get to the doe that you just talked to. October is mating season. They have removed the male antlers so that they can't gore the people who come to visit. So they need another way to outgrow each other. How do they outgrow each other, Kat?
Peeing on themselves.
They cover themselves in filth, in mud and their own filth, and they have a song, don't they, Kat?
They sound like crying babies.
So you're sitting there like kind of petting the deer, kind of, and then you will hear.
Pony deer do not want crackers.
Take a lozenge. This is Japan, we have health services.
Yeah. Like we're trying to feed the deer, but there's like another deer screaming. And
Wait, notice me, babe! Babe!
it smells so bad.
I tell you, I body checked one of those deer. You and Alex were elsewhere, and I looked around in the coastal clear, so there was a doe trying to outrun like this really randy like male deer. So as it was like coming up this steep clearing, I kind of went, because I'm from Pennsylvania, that's how I feel about deer. So I looked around assuming I got away with it, and all I saw was this little toddler holding onto his mom's hand. NAR is a lot of fun. It's a beautiful day trip. It's such a refreshing, like, little quaint city. Fun food places. It was just fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was just like a good day trip.
Yeah. Lovely. And like we got there and back in a single day via the bullet train. If you are going to buy things, and you absolutely are going to buy things,
Yes.
we recommend bringing in extra duffel bags or suitcases to pack with. Carry them around with you. One of the biggest things, every place is going to give you a physical paper receipt, or 2 receipts and a paper bag, or 2 bags and a bunch of like, why are you going through this much paper? I thought you guys were nature worshippers. If you don't want to walk out with a ton of receipts, especially across the bigger places, you'll get the receipt, but you can like show that you're going to use your own bag. I recommend the smaller collapsible bags.
Even then, it's really hard to to do a bag because like they have their own way of just getting things done at the cash register. So to interrupt that is just like I don't know. It's like really rude to interrupt someone's flow.
Yeah.
So
basically, like, pack light. Assume to pack light. Pack your clothing around your bigger purchases that need a little more safety, and just go with the flow. Essentially, a couple of recommended channels for future research. I really like Allison in Tokyo. I really enjoy Abroad in Japan. There's an English dude named Chris. He sets up a studio up in the northern island in Hokkaido, Japan. I also recommend, you really are into Tabi Eats.
yes, I mean it's like 2 Japanese men who just go around on food tours throughout Japan.
Yeah. And that's not bad too. Like we got a lot of recommendations in like the big Tokyo fish market. Yeah, the charcoal activated urchin thing that I almost just threw on the ground.
Yeah, that was enjoyable.
It was interesting.
It was interesting, yeah. It looked really good from the outside. I think it's worth, you know what, I think it's worth the least.
Yeah. Ninja Monkey has lived over in Japan for over 20 years. He's very up to date on just on the political scene, on the COVID scene, easy to get through, and also he doesn't talk like a regular teenage streamer where he's in free fall, in a panic. But essentially, one of the big questions that we got when we did this panel a couple years ago up in Rochester was how do you blend in? You won't, and they'll tell you. And that's okay. That's okay. It's just essential. Even when you get on a packed subway, there's no loud talking. There's not going to be loud music. There's not going to be spitting. There's going to be outdoor places for you to smoke that are very clearly outlined. There are no trash cans. You will find trash cans in front of the Lawsons or the 7-Elevens or on the subway platforms because the mentality, the cultural mentality is, I'm going to take this with me and leave the space cleaner than how I found it.
Yes, you become trash can.
Yes. So yeah, hence that extra bag for when you find the trash can to throw it out. And also no jaywalking. That was the most disappointed I've ever seen a traffic guard's face. He turned around and it was like Joseph. I'm a New Yorker, okay? There was no car that way. There was no car that way. The mini road was as long as this table. I'm gonna step over it. The guy turned around. Oh no! You just yelled at me and my ancestors. I feel like I've hurt you somehow. On a personal level. I mean, behavior as if you're going to someone else's grandma's house. How about that? How about that? Just don't set people on fire or beat people up. I know it's 2022, but we can adapt. I mean, those are the bigger ballpark things. We've got a couple of minutes left, but not too much. I want to make sure folks who have lived in or traveled to Japan, did we miss something? How we do? Kind of generalize? Okay, I'll take the thumbs up. Your hand shot right up. Not Beetlejuice. Definitely not Beetlejuice.
The lady with the green hair and the yellow.
Got it. Yeah, fine. Your hand shot right up. What you got?
One of your slides said punch and goes. You never explained that. What?
That's how you get into your hotel room, and sometimes out of bad situations. If anime has taught me anything, if you are under the age of 18, you are going to encounter a need to fight a ghost. Yes?
You also said something about a vending machine that gives out whiskey?
Yeah! Boss is your new best friend. Boss Coffee in most cities and most out of neighborhoods are gonna have for 100 yen, so a yen is a penny, give or take. 100 yen is $1, give or take.
Wait, why are you talking about coffee when they obviously ask for whiskey?
Because there's hot coffee, iced coffee, and then there's cans of whiskey you can just pick up for 100 or 300 yen. And after a long day of walking, you're like, yes, I will. So long as you find and have that trash can available. There are juices, there are waters. You're not gonna go thirsty, and that's fantastic. Yes, my friend.
I was curious because I want to spend a month. What would for a first trip, what would your time frame be?
Great question.
So, it really depends on what you want to see, what you want to do. If you really want, if you want the shopping weave experience, a week,
Yeah.
be more than enough time. Sorry. If you want to just do shopping and a lot of otaku stuff, a week in Tokyo is more than enough time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to just experience Japanese culture and travel around, I'd say at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Would be good.
Do the bike tour, the hike up Mount Fuji, go across huge water bridges. You're looking at more of a month, in which case extend an Airbnb, a friend who lives there that might be studying. Do what you can, reach out, get friendly with people over Discord, make a friend online. There's a chance they might have a space. A chance. I really hope that we at some point get to open up the borders again and you guys get out there, because it is a trip that really changes you and makes you grateful inside. The food is wonderful. Food's a little cheaper, but you can obviously find very fun and very crazy restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been Uncle Yo. This has been Kat. Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Zenkaikon. Get out there, everybody. Thank you, Internet. Return Yes. I don't believe so. We shall see. We're trying to figure out what the shark twins are going to do after the closes. But for the most part, after Masquerade, I'm just going to hang out in the mirror made events. Yeah, because all of our friends and family are grabbing it. Yeah, like, find me, like, let's go around. Yeah, I'd love to grab it. It has been. Yes, I'm the winner now. I love the prize. I'm a school counselor, and one of my kids has just gotten into it. I'm so excited for this. Hello, Kagera! Let me just give them a big hug. I haven't seen them since I officiated their wedding. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Dan, can I show you for a photo? Just out the offer.
Thank you.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, like, it's the issue gets way more sticky.
I did trouble seeing this one.
Thank you very much.
I have zero faith in my photography skills, so I always take that.
I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for making that to the panel.
Nice. Thanks for the text last night.
Hey, can we get a picture with you? Absolutely.
North and Almond.
Who is anyone here is the next presenter? Do we have the next presenter in the room? Well, I'm taking up this room then.
Yeah.
That's how selfishness works.
That island up there?
I went to one here, Sendai.
Is that
It's north on the east coast, kind of northeast area.
Yeah.
exactly? Okay, so
How, I mean, like,
the other, like that.
Yeah.
congratulations. Where are you guys living now?
We're still out in Elizabeth now. We found a really nice African flags. Basically, a few weeks before COVID.
Huge.
She got all moved in.
I left Charles that exists right off the coast there. A lot of the beaches, if I haven't but really.
Yeah.
But luckily,
And then I think the city is very similar to probably a combination of Osaka with the the history.
I have so many friends that got laid off and then saw their exact jobs for like more money was posted on their company's website. Like that was the thing.
Was sent out of hand for the cucumbers.
The so-so
Decided.
Oh, good. It's ours.
Absolutely delicious.
Like they watched the first 5 minutes of Oliver and said, "That guy who denies a more board, that's us now. That's great." Yeah, it's a terrible documentary series. How not to be? What was that N-word? How to be? Got it. Awesome. How long is everyone here?
we're doing it tonight at 1 o'clock. There's a mascot now.
Excellent. Mascot for like the different towns. Oh,
We're going to talk about how
Very rundown, just a bunch of
Yes.
that live there. And like you could go outside of the little town. I did a hike over the little mountain there.
yeah.
And you know,
they're everywhere. And my garden and
Rats.
shrine.
Especially coming from like Bucks County, like
Books of the Vanity.
Yeah.
It's that same thing of make sure I get off this island before sunset. Yeah.
definitely, like I said, I was
I also really recommend if you're in that northern region, you go around like April or
yeah. Don and we're just hanging out in the back.
there's much
The noodle.
but also I love if you can see
I saw that. Ours looks like
so
shit.
that exists there. So I want to have that northern region.
full way.
You just see cars covered in like
Effectively, the way if they show up, then goes
Oh, yeah. I have a line for the next one, but it's not very good yet. But I'll probably start putting them in if it starts getting too crazy.
So excited when I saw that you were going to be at the show again this year. The last couple of years
Yeah, it's amazing to like get back and see so many familiar things that you like. This is 2 years ago, and there weren't times.
the snow.
giant pieces of it.
Like the 8
I think it's 1 out of 2.5 years in the Masters of Social Work program at Washington University.
and that's part of a national park that goes down towards
high school. I started here.
So it's like the back range and the very
So now I'm trying to teach them to volunteer at conventions as well, for the full experiences, trying to like bring in voice actors and such. But I bring in so much of the nerd stuff into the practice and like the clinical stuff because it's the first time a lot of them just got validated or recognized for it.
That's your friend Chris did at Long High School. His friends,
lovely presentation.
technology teachers start up an AMV. And the kids love it, and they hope there's peers and everything. His mom said, I think it's too busy for you to bring kids down and they'll place them on your programs.
Isn't that amazing? Like to reinforce and because now I have kids that are like building confidence by just drawing and just we're actually writing their stuff. And because like I'm handing their stuff, they're actually getting support. And some of that is doing a lot to like repair the damage that the 2 years. Some of my 49th grade are feral. They just came back into the building. Feral. Some of the teachers too. So like just have this weekly place where like they just get validated and yes, it's so cool. That's awesome. Really social work. I think
Super probably hit it to the tone
the next one.
a little bit, but I know
missed the
you've
next
got something
one.
just coming up. If you want to do something sooner, I can do that now. I'm literally trying to bite you. The different from saying, oh, you can't hear it. It's too long. It says,
Great seeing you around. You can pick the ones here. Yeah, they're jerks. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm not going to take that. I will not take that whole thing. There are too many children I can throw things at.
Can I help you now?
Again, that's why I'm here. Appreciation. This is a condom.